Welcome back to Ozarks Live. It's time to go back out to Tom, who is live from the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's right. Tom, what's going on over there now?
Well, what's going on over here, as you know, I mentioned earlier, I'm in the E-Plex, a great place. There is so much to do and see in the E-Plex, so if you want to cool off a little bit at the fair, this is the place to go. And you remember, Roy, we talked a little bit last time. Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Okay, we're talking about Social Security disability.
Correct.
One question, it changes, does it not, with age and circumstance?
That's correct. Social Security changes the definition of disability based on our age. And the idea being kind of like the old adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Right.
Social Security understands that, and accordingly they adjust the standards. As we get older workers are less likely to get the same degree of training as a younger worker. Employers are leery to invest the time, the money, the effort in training an older worker. So the first time we really see this is at age 50. Once we hit age 50, if you haven't done desk work, chances are you're not going to get that training to do desk work.
Probably not, true.
At age 55, they start taking away what they call light work. And this is stuff we see in the national economy, like dry cleaner helpers, fast food workers, hotel desk clerks, things where we primarily stand most of the day, but we don't do a lot of lifting in those jobs.
Right.
And when you hit 55, we get to a point that, that becomes kind of off the table for a lot of workers.
So we're not necessarily, it does not necessarily mean disability in the fact that you're prevented from doing something. It's just that the likelihood of you finding that kind of employment is diminished. Therefore, to the Social Security, you're in a disabled position.
Yeah, sometimes your age does work to your advantage. Now, kind of the caveat to this is that if you're over 50 and you've done desk work, well, then the employer doesn't have to spend the time, money, effort. You come as a ready, trained employee that can step into a new role. And so your age isn't automatically guaranteeing that they throw out desk work and paving an easier path.
Right.
It kind of depends on what your vocational history looks like.
Right.
For some workers who don't have a lot of work history, maybe don't have a lot of education, they don't really have to have a whole lot wrong with them to qualify for disability. So many people think disability is wheelchairs, crutches, canes, bad situations, and that's not really the case. I like to talk to folks that have a disadvantage in the workforce, folks that are struggling in some way in their current jobs or have recently been let go from their jobs because they couldn't keep up. And a lot of times we see things that are very real, like the need for extra breaks, the ability to stand or to sit.
Absolutely.
A lot of those things matter a lot in a workplace. Bosses don't put up with a lot of deficits there, and they can be the decisions on a lot of cases. So unfortunately, a lot of people just don't file because they have this notion that it's wheelchairs and crutches.
So the best thing is to check in with a professional such as yourself to be able to find if and how you may qualify, what level, different things like that. If people want that kind of information from you, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, you can certainly call the office, the 417-882-1800. You can also visit my website. It's yourdisabilityrep.com. It's yourdisabilityrep.com. We've been shooting a bunch of YouTube videos and posting them there, trying to put together a knowledge bank. And then, of course, we have the resourceinc.com website. It's always good to see you, Tom.
Always
Thanks
good
so
to
much.
see you. Thanks for being with us.
All right.
Come and see him at the fair. Back to you guys.
Now, Tom, he's going to be there through the extent of the fair, correct?
I'll ask him. Are you going to be here for the whole fair?
I've been here for all of it so far. No, I think I get some help a little later in the week, but I'll be around.
There'll be someone to talk to you, yes.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, coming up, it's time for another live in-studio performance.
Yep, Cole joins us up next.